A lot of life can be boiled down to us striving for something, striving for more money, a new house, a new car, your dream job, waiting a whole year for the Steam summer sale so you can afford that game you wanted, or just the general peaks of your ambition. We're always moving forward because that's the way we've been conditioned by society. Movement and progress is idolized while stagnation, staying still, is demonized. Which means when you eventually reach your goal, no matter how long it took or how hard you worked for it, you rarely take the time to appreciate where you are or how you got there. Instead, the natural thing our minds jump to is setting the next goal. Because stagnation is bad, and we have to keep moving. But is this any way to live? I very vividly remember the first time I played Journey. I must have been around 11 or 12, it was a lazy Saturday and I was sitting on the floor in front of our living room TV. I turned on our PlayStation 3 and began to play this game I hadn't really heard of before. I don't think I knew anything about it, but the cover and art style just made it look intriguing. I spent the next few hours completely enraptured in this game. It was nothing like anything I had ever played before at that point in my life. Where I was used to the classic Bethesda style of gaming with quest markers on a compass telling you where to go, Journey's style of gameplay was extremely foreign, yet extremely freeing. With no clear understanding of who you are, where you are, what you're doing or where you're going, I felt more and more captivated by this game. I kept on trudging forward through open sand dunes and ancient ruins, all in this vague idea I'd made up in the back of my mind, that maybe if I'd make it to the end of this game, I'd finally get some answers. Because from the get-go, Journey sets the mountain as the final and ultimate goal you are seeking. You're never told what's there, you're never told why you're going there, you just know you have to reach it. And my young linear mind never felt anything wrong with that. You're at point A and you need to get to point B. Makes sense, I probably thought to myself, and thought nothing more of it. That scaffolding feels extremely familiar in gaming. If you reduce a story down to its base building blocks, majority of the time you will find a protagonist starting off at one location and needing to arrive somewhere else for one reason or another. That's a story arc, the chronological linear path you'll find in a book or a movie or a video game. It's storytelling, yet what Journey did was so much more than just simple storytelling. For the majority of the game isn't spent at the mountain at its peak, the bulk of it is spent trekking towards it. You spend the most amount of time on the journey. It does such a great job immersing you in the world, in its vibrant, beautiful landscapes and eerie, uncomfortable environments, that you often forget where you're going or what you're doing. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's done purposefully. For eventually, we do reach the end of our journey. We make it to the peak of the mountain where we are enveloped in a great, blinding light. You're sat at the edge of your seat, waiting for the ultimate conclusion, the prize you've earned for undertaking this great journey. But instead, you're sent back. Like a shooting star, you're majestically shot out of the top of the mountain, flying over all the areas you spent so much time traveling in, all the way back to the vast, empty desert you first started in. I'll admit, 12-year-old me was very confused by this ending, but it didn't feel dissatisfying. I felt weirdly and inexplicably moved in a way that I couldn't really put into words at the time, but now I think I can. You see, Journey tricks us into believing that the point of the game is making your way to the mountain, but that's not the point. The point of Journey is literally the journey. Which may sound obvious when I say it like that, but I don't think a lot of us consciously realize it. For how many times in your life have you set a goal and blindly made your way towards it, thinking in the back of your mind that once I reach this goal, I'll be complete. I'll be happy. All my problems will be solved, and I'll never want for anything more. And spoiler alert, that's never really the truth of it. When you achieve your goals, you never feel really complete. You don't often feel completely happy. You simply strike that off the list as that task done, and immediately begin to think of the next step, the next goal. You reach the mountain, you become enveloped in the light of achievement, but then almost immediately your mind is already sending you back to the start, thinking about the next mountain. And on the journey, on the way, you never once stop to think to yourself, did I actually spend any time appreciating where I was, or where I was coming from? Journey makes you appreciate the journey. It shows, not tells us, that there is more to life than ambition, and more to life than absent-mindedly chasing your goals. There's beauty and wonder in our world, if only you'd stop to look. And yes, where you find beauty, you will also find pain and sorrow. But that doesn't invalidate it. For if the journey had no obstacle, nothing to overcome, it wouldn't really be a journey, it would just be a boring casual stroll. We acknowledge the bad because it's through the darkness that we grant the light meaning. It's through that process that we are granted true fulfillment and ultimate happiness through our perseverance. When I was 12, I didn't really understand any of this. I was just a kid playing my PlayStation, getting lost in a world that felt quiet and beautiful and a little bit mysterious. I didn't quite understand why the ending made me feel the way it did. I just knew it stayed with me. And now, years later, having gone through my own struggles, my own periods of doubt, and my own moments of striving towards things I thought would finally make me feel whole, I think I finally understand what this game was trying to show me. I'm still human, I still have goals, I still have ambitions, I still have my own mountains I'm walking towards. But I'm trying to remind myself more and more not to rush past the moments I'm living in right now. Because if Journey taught me anything, it's that the destination will always come and go, but the meaning, the growth, and the quiet beauty of life are found in the walking itself. They're found on the journey.